Hello and welcome to day 9 of Dig the Abbey. Today I'm going to concentrate mainly on Trench A, which is the largest area of excavation. So let's go and see what's going on.
Well, this area, we must admit, we did use a JCB to take the topsoil off this bit, because we'd have still been at it if we were doing it with mattocks and shovels. But back in 2007, Warwick Archaeology dug 2 trial trenches in this area. So we've got one running through the middle of the site down there, where it's a bit deeper, and then there's one right across at the back, just beyond our section. And they came down onto a series of walls and floor surfaces that they thought, certainly one of them was going to be a medieval building, and they thought the other one was post-medieval. And they put their trench in just the right place, so you can see where it goes that little bit deeper. You've got the nice stonework at the back of the wall. So we've got you've got that sort of reddish patch where it came down straight onto a nice hearth and fireplace in their trench. So we've now got the other side of that fireplace in our open area. So we've got a wall running through, we've got a nice central fireplace to it, and then where Heather's working in the grey and red stripy top, we've got a wall running back just at 90 degrees going north-south to the wall that comes across here. But then, right next to it, where Mark and Nigel are, we've got another wall with sort of a different colour mortar, and it's a completely different stone. So, could you just give us a wave, Mark? Thank you. So we've got that wall running up there, but it's right next to the other wall. So it can't work as one building, so we've got to have 2 phases of building happening in here. And then our wall continues heading east, but it sort of loses a bit of its structure, really. It's almost as though it's been partially robbed out and sort of just the rubbish put back in the trench.
I'm just trying to get this level so that I can see the little bubble in the circle.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you've got your things there, so just come up.
Over the first one, do we have to move the? We'll see how it goes when I put this. There you go. You're trying to figure out where we. Next one then, Izzy. Just on this line, that one, please. Oh.
And then we've got a series of floor levels that we'll need to expose in here. Again, in the Warwick trench, you've got the section where you've got sort of a grey layer, then you've got a buffy layer, followed by a grey layer, then there's a really thin white layer. You can just see in a couple of places. And those are actually floor surfaces. So instead of sweeping out, all they basically did was levelled it off, and that's an awful lot of dust going off in there, and lay another mortar floor on top.
Well, what we've got here is a fireplace that's been set into one of our main east-west wall that we've got on site. It may have a little later addition on top of it there, but we're going to explore that and see what it is. But it's obviously the fireplace, I think, for any of the rooms that lie immediately on this side.
So you've got a succession of floor levels, which we'll be excavating through those to get dating evidence for those, the floor levels, which will then tell us whether it is a medieval building or a post-medieval building.
I'm planning this area so before we dig anything, so we have a record of what was here pre-excavation, as well as what we excavate later on.
Looking at it, part of me is starting to think that what we're dealing with is actually a Tudor building. So when the Abbey gets demolished and we get the Elizabethan manor house built over there, I think what we've got here is possibly even using the medieval footings, but I think there's an Elizabethan building going in here. There's quite a lot of brick in the building and about, which would suggest a slightly later date. And all of the pottery we've been getting from here is all post-medieval and sort of post-dissolution in date. So we've got a nice little drain running down through here, but the drain's absolutely fantastic. You know, nice little stone-lined drain. We've just got to work out what it's doing with the building now.
Tell me what you're doing down there.
We're just cleaning up this vertical section here to get as much information from it as possible, because before it was sort of sloping a little bit, and we need to get an idea of where all this rubble's coming from. So hopefully we'll be able to see tip lines in the section, which will give us a greater understanding of how the pit has been filled over the years. And I'm hoping that we're going to get some sort of earlier finds from the bottom. But there's been some earlier stuff, hasn't there, James?
Yeah, there's been a few bits, yeah. No, I think them more recent finds are mainly out of the top, really. So
I was going to say, and that's fine, isn't it? Because
Yeah.
that layer is quite, I think it's distinctly different from there to what's here, isn't it? So.
Might. Says 31's been taken, so we would have taken